Okay, hi. So, welcome to the next episode of Zindagi Ek Safar. So, I'm Dr. Banerjee. We normally keep this conversation to be quite a casual one, so we don't get into too much formality, which is there. But definitely, the guest who is there, I have to introduce the person whom I know for the last 25 years. Yeah. So, here is a gentleman who has spent his 4 decades, and out of which I think half he has spent as a banker, and the other half he has spent into educational institution. And have seen him, and I've learned quite a lot about life from him. So the first thing I remembered, who should be the person I want to talk, his name came on the top of it. Yeah. So here is Professor Choudhary Prasad, because that's the way I had got introduced to him. He has now become Dr. Choudhary Prasad, which is there. Uh, Chaudhary sir, so the first thing, this podcast is about Zindagi Ka Safar. So, very briefly, share your suffer in this life and Zindagi with us.
You mean Hindi Safar?
Yes, Hindi suffer, not the suffer, not the English suffer. Yes.
Very long, long journey to him. Very nice
Okay.
to interact with you. Possibly we never found this much of leisure time to share.
Yes.
Right, thanks. You gave me an opportunity now. I don't say it's my fag end of the career or life or whatever. Today I'm running 69.
Wow.
Interestingly, this is my closing of 50th year of my career.
Oh,
This April, I'll be touching 50 years of my career
wow.
in 10 organizations, the longest being in State Bank of India for 22 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the next longest was, of course, TAPME Manipal, where
Okay.
you and me we met.
Yes. Yes.
Both are close to my heart. I've learned a lot. I grew up and I've given also as much as I can. So there's remaining 8 organizations, short and long, whatever careers we have. So almost 50 years. I really enjoy now sharing that kind of a journey with you. I don't know where to begin. When I was a BSc third year student in Hyderabad in the year 1969, I was just 18 years old. You might be knowing there was Telangana agitation, separate state agitation was going on,
Mm-hmm.
1968, 69. For
Mm-hmm.
whatever political reasons. I
Mm-hmm.
happened to be in Hyderabad, my student days. We were all idle, sitting at home for close to 2 to 3 years.
Oh.
I lost my BSc degree.
Mm-hmm.
Total agitation. More than 300 students fired and killed in the agitation during that period. We were not going to college, not doing anything. Suddenly, it so happened, Andhra Bank, that time a private limited bank in Hyderabad headquarters, advertised for young employees, first time in their history also,
Mm-hmm.
to recruit through NIBM, National Institute of Bank Management, set up in 1969, interestingly. So 1970, August, if I remember, they advertised. I applied casually after asking my father. He said, go ahead. He's a government employee. They don't believe in private sector employments. They believe only in government.
Yeah.
And I appeared. When I appeared, they conducted two usual English maths examination test, what they call. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know how many thousands appeared and all.
Mm-hmm.
All of us, whoever have done well, whether undergrads, grads, or post graduations, all the fellows have appeared common. And then this NIBM was brought in by then chairman, Mr. Gopal Rao, K. Gopal Rao, supposed to be a dada in banking in those days in private sector. He
Mm-hmm.
thought professionalism has to be brought in. So he borrowed services of NIBM and he said, no, one more test will be there. We were all flabbergasted. अरे एक टेस्ट तो क्वालिफाई कर लिया पास हो गया another test and it was well not known at all. Today you have guides, internet, coaching centers, whatnot, somebody to guide, somebody to help, somebody to consult, whatnot. Those days zero. What could be the next test? They said there is a test, you have to appear. When 450 of us we went in local women's college in Hyderabad, That time only chalk piece, no technology, nothing. So a gentleman will go to the blackboard, explain one section, verbal ability, next numerical ability, next some whatever, four sections in all, 15 minutes each. They will ring a bell and give the answer paper. After giving oral explanation, they will conduct it. And being a mathematics BSc student at that time, always doing well in mathematics in my school, college, I was finishing it in 10, 12 minutes, if not 15 minutes full, not knowing what I was doing. Over, after 3, 4 days, they all did it manually. In those days, Cardex system was there. So they sat in the hotel rooms and corrected and declared the results, to your and my and everybody's surprise. I was being an undergraduate at 18 years, not exposed to any of these, the topper of the batch.
Wow.
That was the earlier achievements were passing 11th standard at the age of 14,
Wow.
entering pre-university at 15,
Mhm.
likely to finish graduation at 18 was the earlier whatever that got aborted. So this bank job came in my way, Andhra Bank. I joined within 6 months, whatever exposure I had. And in between, somebody who in the training center told that you should enroll for CAIB Institute. That also I enrolled. Suddenly a chance came from State Bank of India in 1971. April I joined Andhra Bank. By November, I already moved to State Bank of India by passing another bank examination. My BSc degree has gone fat. My colleagues were all wondering, my relatives, my father's friends and all, they were saying that your boy seems to be doing very well in, he succeeded in selection in a private sector bank and a public sector bank. And then let him continue to graduation, wouldn't have made any difference to him. He can as well do it later on. That gave confidence to my father. Go ahead, he said. Then I started first appearing the bank examinations and cleared all those accounts, economics, geography, English, banking subjects. And my colleagues were surprised. We have been here for so long. We have not done this part one, part two of the CAIB, the professional diploma for bankers. How come you are clearing it? You are not even a graduate. I said, I don't know. Then in 72, I took due permissions from SBI management from Hyderabad main branch, enrolled myself in the part-time BCom, first year, second year, again no classes because in Hyderabad, in the Usmania University, entire thing was dead closed and then mass copying was going on. No studies, no coaching, no teaching. I was very sad. Meantime, I'm clearing bank examinations, third year degree, all 3 years papers, 9 papers, alternate day, 18 plus Sundays, about 25 days I was going on writing the exams. That was in 1975. By the time I already put in 4 or 5 years of service, then I came out in my BCom degree with a fourth rank in the merit in the university.
Wow.
With a degree with such a first class and part one, part two CAB in my hands, my friends said, you're going to be a star in all the selections in the bank with the blessings and whatever guidance and kind words. Possibly subsequently, I was really successful. That's how my first job was Andhra Bank. Second longest, what I mentioned, State Bank of India was second job, which taught me, gave me a chance of all possible growth in my life because I entered it, say, 18 plus 19 years in State Bank of India, 22 years I served. Whatever was the reasons, I left at 40th year as a chief manager. In between, lot, I can go on and on and on. Only thing is, in between came your life, your child, your this, your that. So that was a very memorable stay. I worked in small rural branches to corporate office in Mumbai, and I had understood the organization. I thought, let me move out from public sector to private sector. Anything from your side, I am ready to take. Possibly, I
Okay.
made my 22 years story till now a very brief and short.
Yeah, yeah. But
Learning,
I think,
learning it.
yeah, the learning which I have, and I think I I definitely have to appreciate, and if everyone who will listen will really appreciate. Given the scenario where, for example, as a youngster, and that too quite at a young age of 18, 19, you are in a scenario where, let's say, the constraints are too high, that colleges are not running, uh, and not enough jobs which are there. There is a unrest which is there. There still you have gone about doing it, and now you are putting out it in a very casual manner, self-made man, and I think that's how
Yeah, you
stars are
use the
really
right
born.
word. Right word. I always boast and claim to with all my friends, I'm a self-made man. I never had any godfather in any of these things. Subsequently, middle management, senior management examinations, every time I got through middle merit channel only. State Bank of India has been a wonderful employer for me. I learned a lot, right? As I told, from a rural branch to a corporate office in Mumbai. I learned a lot. I learned a lot. I grew up with the organization, and I owe my all my success and the opportunities I got in my career to this bank, SBI, State Bank of India.
Okay, just as a comparison of life, because I think another very interesting thing is, as you said, this is something which happened in 1969, 70 kind of period or 71 kind of period. So we are talking about 50 years, which is there. Now, looking at, let's say, India today on the parameters of, let's say, employment, on opportunities, vis-a-vis then, how will you rate today's India? Will it be has improved quite a lot if that is given some rating?
Huge,
Yeah.
huge. 6970, where it was. I told you, generally employee class was only looking for government jobs. Private job means not very much. कोई लड़की भी नहीं देंगे when you want to even get married.
Uh,
Government job means assured till 60th year you are assured your career,
hmm,
your life, your whatever income, stability, so on and so forth. At that time, private sector was in a very small this thing. So
hmm,
possibly I took a jump from private to public sector, but
hmm,
I always had this whatever urge to understand and experience the private sector.
hmm,
Possibly that pushed me, although SBI had given me a lot, and typically I did not mention the year. The year was when I came back from Mumbai after saving even you saw Harshad Mehta scam kind of a thing. 19 late 80s was a turning period in Indian economy, technology, financial markets, whatever you may say. Maybe by the time your Nehru era is gone, Indira Gandhi era is gone, Shastriji, of course, short period, Rajiv era had seen a kind of changes, particularly financial institutions. You are a person of finance, you teach finance and all that. Tremendous changes have come from right 1987, 88 onwards. The SEBI was taking birth, NSE was taking birth, NSDL was taking birth. So whatever stock market scam that has happened was because of not having technology. Thanks to Rajiv Gandhi and his vision, possibly, and Sham Pitroda coming in and revolutionizing tele whatever connected industry.
hmm,
Today we are in different world altogether. Enormous opportunities, multifold changes that have come. I
hmm,
really envy today's younger generation. They're born with a golden spoon, if not a silver spoon. Because as I told, in those days, there was so much of information, wherewithal, guidance, coaching, opportunities, and so on. Today, click of a button, you get information is at your command.
hmm,
Information communication technology, 70s, nothing. 80s took a small jump, although political turmoils were there. And 90, when the stock market scam has happened,
hmm,
there was something was building up like NSE, NSDL, and all these things, as I told, CRISIL. So in different, I was as a teacher, I was teaching all these developments.
hmm, hmm,
So post that, information revolution, communication technological revolution has really helped. And as you know, the economic reforms that have come and the privatization, LPG has been introduced by Government of India. Whoever is a political party or the powers that be, I'm not referring to any individual personalities. The
hmm,
economy took a multifold jump and
hmm,
opportunities have multiplied as challenges. And India possibly has started realizing that we have to compete with whom we don't know. 90s started opening up. And today we are very much comfortably well off compared to 70s and 80s. Having seen that, I can say that after post 90s, we also realized where we would like to be. Earlier, we were not knowing we were there, and those days, as students, we were only studying backward countries, less developed countries. These were the nomenclature.
Hmm.
Emerging economies came after 90s, and
Hmm.
technology, competition, and so on and so forth has come. And that's a culmination of all the development, political, economic, and technological. Things have multiplied a lot, and youth have definitely got opportunities. Today, private sector is ruling post 95, 98, secondary forms and all that. And particularly in this generation, this century, much more is happening, and fast changes are taking place. I am at least witnessing, we are also experiencing, and we are happy about it.
Okay, great. Okay, so in this long career, I think family definitely is something which makes a difference. And I know Ganga Bhavi and I know your daughter Sweetie very well. So, how did you manage to ensure, given your uh, being
You
successful in
touched
the
a
corporate,
very,
how did you
very,
manage
very
the
sensitive.
work-life balance, or did it got managed? Or
No,
maybe the right
no.
question to ask will be to Ganga Bhavi, but what is
The
your take?
kind of work-life balance in Bombay is different.
Yeah.
Whether it is 70s, 80s, or today, one should pass through their, as you also did, 30s, particularly when you are energetic, enthusiastic, and then whatever, pass through Bombay life during your 30s and mid 30s and all that.
Yeah.
What is time management? What are the challenges? Financial planning, everything you learn, possibly that also came very handy to me. I was just then married in 1982, when I was a branch manager.
Okay.
She is or was a daughter of a collector of Central Excise Customs, only lived in metro cities, if not, of course, for some time in northeastern Calcutta, Bhubaneswar, other places. First time having married to a State Bank of India manager, she entered into a Warangal rural village where there is no toilet, no drinking water, no shelter even. And my wife, she joined me just like any other humble, simple Indian wife. And she lived with me. For the namesake, I was a branch manager of State Bank of India, but in an almost like a hut-like place we are living and running a rural development branch. I took it as a passion that let me do. State Bank of India was born for rural development, and when I get an opportunity to be a first branch manager of a rural agriculture branch, I lived it through, and she supported, cooperated with me. That I can say first stage. Then, of course, got a chance to go to Hyderabad for a short period. I was in the regional office. Then, coming from a branch to a regional office, just we were settling. Suddenly, a call came from corporate office Mumbai. From 84 to 93, I got my child there. I got my three promotions there. And that challenges of Bombay, as I told, first thing is time management, distance management. No mobile phone then. Once you have left home, you
Yeah.
have no connection with your family. And
Yes.
then there in the State Bank quarters, all our colleagues, wives, and all, morning when we leave home at 8 o'clock, evening we come back home at 8 o'clock again after 12 hours. If we come back tired, safe, still with fresh energy and all, that was a different life. That way I said, during 30s, 40s, if you have passed through Bombay life, you will learn a lot, including stock market lessons. I had seen closely Harshad Mehta and that
Mm.
Bombay Stock Exchange, that share market, share agents, etc. And we understood the corporate bank functioning. That was a challenge. Since you touched about the other portion, when I came back to Hyderabad, leaving my family, wife and daughter over there in Bombay, there was these disturbances, some social, religious disturbances, everyday fire going on, agitations going on. I was in back in a branch as a chief manager of Sangareddy branch.
Mm.
Family was back in Bombay, and there was no mobiles, as I told you again. Communications, scary. Something possibly went in my mind that I almost gave my paper to State Bank of India. Although it gave me a lot for 22 years, I quit State Bank of India to jump into private whatever role. And she cooperated. I had only one daughter. She was hardly 8 years old. I didn't calculate what I am doing. Possibly now I keep regretting, but possibly that plunge I have taken, maybe for family, but family cooperated in my good and bad deeds, good and bad decisions, right and wrong circumstances. I think very unusual that a family supports. By the time my father passed away, I never consulted my brothers, brother-in-laws, or father-in-law, anyone, not even a few friends. I never felt I was very bold enough that I can live in this world. I can manage. जिंदगी इतना तो सिखाया. Your title is जिंदगी का सफर. अब तक तो सिखाया. At the age of 40, having entered the job at 18 and tasting success, I had a lot of Atmanirbharata, what today being told. At that time in 1992, 93, I gave my paper. My boss in SBI corporate office, a managing director, well-wisher, very closely known from Hyderabad, he called me and scolded me. Do you know what you're doing? I said, yes, sir. No, you're throwing or rather kicking out at an employer. Anything problem?
No, no, no.
Yeah. I said, sir, I will see. It's a pensionable job, having completed 20 years. Even now, I take pension. So I took a challenge. I took up a 3 years on export company job, put up with all my whatever savings and time, energy, knowledge, qualifications, etc. Then took a plunge to come to Bangalore to join Vaishya Bank Limited, its subsidiary leasing company. I was about to be president of Vaishya Bank Housing Company, but then they changed the order. They said leasing company is in trouble. Why don't you take up leasing company? The president and other team are not able to cope with. I was very new to Bangalore and leasing industry. 93 to 96, I was in exports in Hyderabad, EOU company. Then 96 to 99, I was with Vaishya Bank Leasing. My God, that was a different experience. Handling non-performing assets, defaulters, carrying arrest warrants in one pocket, travel tickets in the other pocket. Went to Kanpur, went to Chandigarh, Delhi, Pune, Chennai, Hyderabad. My God, meeting defaulters. That was a very bad period for both banking industry and the non-banking industry. They were vying with each other, but NBFCs were equally not doing well, even now. Always they have always been treated as second rate. So NBFCs I have tasted, experienced, traveled extensively, visited Bhopal, defaulters, Chennai, Pune, even the computer industry also in doldrums. I saw one, I can't name you the names of the company in Pune, name company in Bombay or in Chennai. They thought that they will do something during the reforms period, but the challenges were so many. 99 suddenly I took when we met was what I started thinking in 98 to come to Manipal. Actually, I had come for a marriage in Mangalore in 98, extended my trip to Manipal, happened to meet the director, yours and mine, very well affectionate. So 99, I thought, why not I get into teaching? The prompt for that is during SBI, I was very passionate. I did the postgraduate diploma in training and development. I used to handle training sessions. I didn't know the difference between training and teaching, but I thought MBA handling is possible. I will. Although I am an MCOM postgraduate with all these professional qualifications in banking, merchant banking, training, computers, and all that. So director gave me an opportunity that you will do teaching of banking and financial services on one side and also doing academic administration. Possibly that was a challenge. At any of these changes, movements, taking up the roles, my family cooperated. My daughter was innocent. She didn't know what she was passing through. Possibly, I don't know whether I did justice to family. As you said, commitment more to the career profession was of paramount importance when compared to something gaining selfishly for the family. It was secondary treatment given. Possibly, I sometimes look back, think back, and regret also.
Yeah, but I think all worked out well. I know that Ganga Bhavi is very happy and Sweetie is well settled in Australia. So I think you have done your thing as a good husband and father. You remember you are able to recognize the building behind me?
I know. I'm
Huh?
wondering. I was about to ask you because of that was my starting point in academics and where we met. Jab we met.
Jab we
So
met,
possibly
exactly.
you as this. Possibly you also feel nostalgic.
Yeah,
You also feel nostalgic because you are a student there and then a professor
correct.
there.
Yes.
Something very, very unusual. It's a wonderful opportunity for anyone to serve back your alma mater. Very few have got the opportunity. Jab we met was at this place in 99. We
Yes,
spent nice days. We possibly revolutionized first meeting when we served the students, teachers serving the students a dinner.
exactly.
That was your initiative. So you had two hats to wear as a student, alumni, as well as a professor. The kind of command you had, affection you had. Possibly we brought in a wonderful change in the academic so-called environment. And then I really enjoy recalling, but that building is now demolished.
Yes,
Sad
yes, I know. Yeah.
nostalgia, but sad feelings. It's
Yes.
now into a huge campus, big campus.
Plus, I think I very vividly recall uh, y- you actually, I think, sang in some of the things. So, are you still following with your passion of singing?
Oh, why? You reminded me of my so-called hobby. I cannot
Craze now.
say.
Now it has become a craze, I think.
At the age of 12,
Hmm.
one day in my Hyderabad colony, in the cultural program, they gave me a mic and asked me to sing a song, Telugu, and I did that. I got a first prize.
Wow.
Next, I was in degree college. I used to
Uh,
sing for the cultural programs.
okay.
Then came the break. You may call it singing, humming, whatever. Later on, possibly after passing through the state bank and other assignments, jobs, traveling, as I told, chasing the non-performing asset, this, that. 99, when I came back to the again academic campus, I had quite a few opportunities of rubbing shoulders with young minds, bright, energetic minds, highly talented, coming from all over India. And as you remember, straight away, I was also given the position of chairman admissions.
Yeah.
And I proved myself exceedingly, leaving my footprints over there, thanks to Nagabrahma and his confidence in me. And of course, State Bank of India collaboration. 4 successive years, I created all sorts of records. So admissions, we used to interact with thousands of students. When the talent comes on campus, possibly we were once in a while singing, sitting with the students, being very informal. So naturally, that singing continued. Quite a few photographs are there during their induction day, their cultural day, and they used to feel my professor singing with me, cheering up. It was different. We need not be a good professional singer, but it so happened again a break came. Uh, Again a few years, because as you know, in TAPME I had two stints. Both times I did my justice. One was for 7.5 years, one was for 5.5 years, and then in between other management institutes. Other places I didn't have that much kind of a liberty or freedom or environment. Manipal is different. You are totally feeling at home, so that singing comes as natural feeling.
Yeah.
Even up to 2014 when I was there, quite a few memorable occasions used to be there. Only in 2018, when I almost did Astra Sanyas from all these assignment tasks and all, suddenly I saw a friend of mine singing, karaoke singing. Then I took to YouTube, did my own technology, picked up my mobile phone, recorded some songs, more than 160 you can see if you search for my name, and then karaoke singing with that lyrics and background music. I started doing it and sending it to all my friends. Many have appreciated, at least nobody said you're a bad singer. That's what I continued. Then it so happened, subsequently somebody suggested to me, this is not the only platform or tools or technology. You better try Smooth or this equipment you buy,
Star
you get
Maker.
into full time, the Star Maker. Out of all, Star Maker, I took it as a wonderful thing, source, because it's a star group. That has helped me. I think you and me, we also shared a lot of songs. Close to 3,000 songs I recorded.
Wow.
It so happened then when duets started coming in and more than 50 ladies have accepted my partnering singing, I got encouraged. अभी बुढ़ा तो हो गया ये, लेकिन कोई गाने के लिए तैयार है. Even today, I put it off recently, this app of Star Maker, because I'm getting tempted.
Okay.
I recorded per day as high as 18 songs.
Wow.
And my average per day is 5 songs. And keep sending it to all the friends. They say, Kya ho gaya tumko? Where was it, this talent hiding all these days? I said, Star Maker. Because we have to accept the technology that has come in is
Hmm.
phenomenal. That's what I say. People who want to learn, electronics is also playing fantastic role. So that is giving me a lot of energy, enthusiasm, happiness, satisfaction. So I'm continuing that once in a while, giving breaks here and there because of other pressures which are totally self-inflicted. Recently, I've taken up 2 assignments. One is a All India Vice President of my community association and President of my Residents Welfare Association in the
Wow.
colony where I am now staying, keeping totally busy up to 14 to 16 hours a day. So I switched off this Star Maker.
Okay, so as we are coming to the fag end of this thing, so uh, I will put the links of some of your videos, specifically the ones which you have done on Zindagi, once we upload it into the YouTube channel. But दो line
Very
हो जाए
nice of you.
जिंदगी का सफर, 2 line हो जाए without maybe the music only.
जिंदगी का सफर में again I have to go back to my 1971 where I started 50 years back with all my new employment job friends. We bumped into the picture called Anand, where Amitabh Bachchan was an entrant. Rajesh Khanna was already ruling, superhero he was. And then all my friends said, अरे कोई लंबू आया है, बाबू मोशाय, चलो वो पिक्चर देखेंगे. राजेश खन्ना के साथ बराबरी में किया है, अच्छा पिक्चर है. We all went. That was precisely, if I remember, August 71, before I plunged to State Bank of India. This movie, all about friendship, Anand, is still very vividly in my heart. The next picture they moved again with Rishikesh Mukherjee was Namak Haram, that also equally very close to my heart. But in Anand, a few songs are fantastic. जिंदगी के सफर में गुजर जाते हैं जो मकाम. No, this is not from Anand. ओ फिर नहीं आते. This is Rajesh Khanna's आपकी कसम.
Hmm.
आनंद का मूवी आई एम ट्राइंग टू रिकॉल. बुढ़ा हो गया थोड़ा, मिक्स अप कर रहा हूँ. You have to forgive me.
No, no, it's fine.
What is that movie? What is the song? जिंदगी कैसी है पहेली हाय, कभी तो हंसाए, कभी तो रुलाए. जिंदगी कैसी है पहेली हाय, कभी तो हंसाए, कभी ये रुलाए. कभी कभी सपनों में गाए, यूं चले जाए अकेले का जिंदगी. So for all my viewers and friends and well-wishers and youngsters, life you have to take it as it comes. It brings in happiness and sorrowness also. It puts in a lot of challenges in front of you. Never it is a cakewalk, ready-made. You cannot expect it to happen. The best example is the current 1 year's corona. It has completely shaken the whole world, and people are withstanding, experiencing, coming out, learning new lessons and calling it new normal. So life is not ready-made, life is not fixed, life it is not as you expect it to be. Whatever we believe God, you are put to some tests and ups and downs and ups and trials and all those things. One has to put up with this. आप भी तो बहुत जिंदगी देखा, मैं भी जानता हूँ.
Yes.
मैं भी तो जो देखा है. So we have all passed through 50s, 60s, we are going through. Current day youngsters may or may not know, they may or may not like to be told the old stories. Some of us keep sharing. The younger generation should know that life was not this comfortable. Today they are very well off, a lot of opportunities. lot of future prospects and wide openings. New industries are coming, new products and services are coming, and global they are. Earlier, though, short distance also to travel, we were not very much guided. Today, you can go around the world, round. At least I have seen more than dozen countries. You also traveled extensively for your trainings, for your tours, and I keep seeing your photographs. We enjoy. So we are now living in a global village, so we'll have to take life with a pinch of salt. It's a series of compromises. Doesn't happen everything as you wish. ऐसा हो तो भगवान का कोई याद ही नहीं करता है. So you have to take things as they come, face the challenges, understand, work with people, do well, plan, do justice to your family. As you use the word work life balance, it only sounds like a theoretical HR topic or whatever, but one has to do. Possibly corona has taught many a people a lot of things, how to put up with good times, bad times. Good times everybody is gaga, happy, they will be looking up, but bad times come, how to sustain, how to overcome, how to experience, and how to change the course is a big challenge. So I think the topic you have chosen is fantastic. जिंदगी का सफर, कितने भी गाने भी गाओ, पिक्चर देखो, खुद एक्सपीरियंस पास करो. And as you know, the word is very pet word for our director, experiential learning. So experiential learning is one learns a lot by undergoing. Then only you soil your hands and you can be authentic in what you're talking, because people will take you as a role model. You use the word role model. Role model कोई भी हो सकता है, fancy sake. Because typically when the admission interviews we used to ask who is your role model, tak comes the answer, my father. Father is close to you, mother is close to you, but life में कोई ambition है, goal है, so you'll have to really take the successful stories of good businessmen or politicians or social workers or writers, authors, musicians, dancers, whoever it is. Keep somebody as your role model and work to emulate them, and then reach at least to some extent. And that is what is life all about. And life, once only you get an opportunity, बार बार नहीं आता है. जब आया तो make it useful. Live for yourself, live for others also. Just don't be selfish कि सब कुछ मुझे ही चाहिए. What you can give back to the society in whatever role you play, whatever task you do, whatever job you do, in a small way. Possibly we have learned all these things in last 20 years being with the MBA institutions. I did so. Thank you so much. We have shared. Possibly I controlled my tears in my eyes when you made me remember. Maybe I cut short. It's a long 50 years career and 68 years of life I could recall in this short what do you call episode. I wish you good luck to keep on covering as many good people to spread this information, knowledge, experiences of your associates. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I think it was such a wonderful uh, 40 minutes which we have spent. Really appreciate you. As you said, you are even busy at this particular age, spending more than 12, 13, 14 hours on something which you
Oh, I
like. And
forgot to
then,
tell you.
yeah.
I forgot to tell you, these days I'm playing 1.5 hours shuttle badminton in the mornings.
Wow, wow. I wanted to ask you one of the things about how you are keeping fit. So I think you have
That's
given
how
me that
14
answer.
hours are added up.
Wow.
It's both the entertainment,
Yeah,
exercise, and socializing. Three in
exactly.
one. It's
Excellent.
helping me.
Yes. Okay, great, sir. We will again, I think, catch up sometime later, maybe in
Certainly.
another episode, because as you said, there is so much to talk about and so much to
Volume 2.
discuss and learn.
Volume 2 करेंगे.
Volume 2 जरूर करेंगे. Yeah. So we'll
Thank you so
revisit.
much. Very nice.
Yeah. Wish you all the best, sir. Bye.
Lovely. Lovely talking to you. Bye.